Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Emily. If this is your first time, you're welcome, and if you've been here before, thank you very much for coming back. Today's video is to show you how I use my Tower 5-in-1 digital air fryer to bake this cake. This is my Tower 5-in-1 digital air fryer. It's an 11 liters air fryer oven, and I have a video in which I've reviewed this air fryer. One of the comments in the review of this air fryer asked if it can bake a cake, and I decided to give it a try. Kindly have a look at this video in which I reviewed this air fryer and other recipes in which I've used this air fryer to cook. Thank you very much. Just to say, I am not a baker. I just have this method with which I bake my cakes. It's a very simple method and my cakes do come out nice. It doesn't involve creaming the butter and the sugar together for a long time until you get a smooth consistency, and also you don't need a lot of instrument to bake this cake. This cake is a 6-inch cake, and for this I use 200 grams of self-raising flour, 200 grams of butter, 200 grams of sugar, and 3 eggs. 6 inches loose base round cake tin, microwavable mixing bowl, silicone spatula, a fork, and a grease-proof baking paper. To start, I line the baking tin with my grease-proof baking paper. I traced out the base of this baking tin on the grease-proof paper and cut it out with a scissors. I measure the height of this baking tin, then I cut another strip of baking paper to go inside the baking tin. I needed 2 of these strips to fully line the baking tin, so I cut 2 of these using the scissors. I then greased the baking tin with some butter and lined it with the greaseproof paper. This is what the baking tin looks like when it's been fully lined. To start the mixing of the cake batter, I microwaved my butter, which was already at room temperature, in the microwave for about 40 seconds. When the butter has fully melted and there is no longer any lump of butter, I added in my sugar. For this method of mixing the batter, it would be nice to use castor sugar instead of normal granulated sugar. This is because castor sugar is finer and the granules will dissolve quicker in the melted butter than a normal granulated sugar would. After mixing the butter and the sugar for a while, I set it aside so that the sugar can dissolve further. I broke the 3 eggs, which were already at room temperature, into a small bowl and gave it a quick whisk using the fork. Now going back to the sugar and butter mixture, I gave it another quick mix for a few minutes until the sugar dissolves further. I then added a whisked egg into the butter and sugar mixture. I gave this a thorough mix for a few minutes until the egg, butter and sugar mixture is well combined. I kept on mixing this mixture with my spatula until I got a smooth consistency. To this mixture of butter, egg and sugar, I added my self-raising flour, which I have sieved to remove any lumps present. I folded the flour into the butter and sugar mixture until it is well combined. I kept on mixing this mixture to get rid of any lumps of flour. Then I added the rest of the flour and folded it in until it is well combined. This is my smooth cake batter, now ready to be poured into the baking tin. I poured all the batter into one cake tin and tapped it on the kitchen top to remove any air bubbles. This is my Tower 5-in-1 digital air fryer oven. It comes with 3 wire racks which slots into the grooves in the oven, and I'm going to use one of these wire racks as a base for my cake tin. I place the rack at the lowest groove and I place the baking tin in the middle of the air fryer. Switching on the air fryer, I set it to 180 degrees for 30 minutes. Normally this cake should cook for like 40 to 45 minutes in a normal oven, but I decided to start with 30 minutes, then I would adjust this time as I go along. After 30 minutes of baking, I took the cake out of the air fryer and checked if it is cooked using a clean knife. The cake still had some batter, so I placed it back into the air fryer and baked it further for another 10 minutes. After baking the cake further for another 10 minutes, I took it out to make sure it is fully baked. Checking with a clean knife, it is almost fully baked but still has like few minutes to go. So I placed it back in the air fryer to bake further for another 5 minutes. After baking further for another 5 minutes, it was now done. So I took it out of the air fryer and placed it on a wire rack to cool down for about 5 minutes. After the cake has cooled for a few minutes, I took it out of the baking tin and also removed the greaseproof paper from the sides and also from the bottom of the cake base. I turned the cake on a small plate to remove the base of the baking tin. Then I flipped the cake on another bigger plate so it can be the right side up. This is the final look of the cake when it has been cooked in the air fryer for 45 minutes. To add a decorative touch to the cake, I sprinkled some icing sugar on the cake using a sieve. This cake did not come out spongy, but if you want your cake to come out spongy and fluffy, I would advise that you whisk the egg and also you whisk your sugar and butter mixture so that you can incorporate enough air into the batter to get a spongy cake. And that is how to use a Tower 5-in-1 digital air fryer to bake a cake. Kindly check out my video in which I review this air fryer and also my other videos which I have done on air frying. I hope you find this video useful. Please, if you've not subscribed to my channel, kindly subscribe. Turn on your notification bell so you can get notified when I post new videos, and also like and share this video. Thank you very much for watching to the end, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.